Peace, family. It's your boy Sajid God. We here again, man, with another breakdown. Basically, just want to kind of go into some things that a lot of people maybe not aware of, as far as where do these root words come from, as far as pharmaceuticals. So I just want to dive in a little bit, not too deep, but just to give y'all enough to where you can do your own research to see what these certain words mean and how they can correlate in today's times. So basically, if you look up the root word of pharma, which is, as we know, the pharmaceutical industry, if I type it in right now, what is the root meaning of pharma? This is the description that we get. The root meaning of pharma, or pharmacy, or pharmaceutical, comes from the ancient Greek word pharmakon, which meant drug, poison, spell, or charm. So basically, these things could be poisons that are used for substance, used for harm, a spell or a charm, which is associated with magic or enchantment, and for drugs or medicine refers to substances. So this is what we're talking about, family. Pharmaceuticals, spells, charms, drugs, and poisons. Most people don't think when they on pharmaceuticals, they're under the spell of the pharmaceutical industries and the powers that be. Now, obviously, in the world today, we see that so many people suffer from health issues which require their lifestyle to be on pharmaceuticals for probably the rest of their life, due to them not changing any lifestyle habits, and also eating habits, stress habits, exogenous environmental habits, and things of that nature. If you are consuming pharmaceuticals, from what the text says, that means that you might be under a spell. And it's not a coincidence, family. This is just the reality that we're all facing. To me, I'm not against the pharmaceutical industry in all aspects, because in emergency use cases, you're going to need to go to them, family. You wouldn't come to me if you got shot in the back. You wouldn't come to me if you were having a life or death allergic reaction. I would advise you to go to the urgent care so they can take better care of you to, get a bullet wound out of you, stitch up a stab wound, give you a steroid to help calm down your adrenal glands so your body can actually regulate any fight or flight responses that you're having to having these different factors go off inside of your body. I wouldn't refer you to come to me in those emergency use case reasonings. But as far as overall health practices go to make you a healthier individual, these people have zero intentions of doing that for you. Absolutely zero. You're a customer for their potions, for their poisons, to have your body basically be out of harmony for as long as possible. To me, if you're gonna be on pharmaceutical drugs, in my opinion, is viewed as being on welfare. Welfare is a double-edged sword. For those that are in need, it is good, where you can have food stamps, where you can have government funds supply you so that you can provide for you and your family to have a house on Section 8, to have food on a food stamp card. Yes, it is good for those that are in need, but it is not a good thing to live there, to stay there, to be complacent under those circumstances. It's the same thing for the pharmaceutical industry. While you're on these drugs, while you're on these medications, you should be doing the things to get to the root cause, to alleviate that issue of why you need the pharmaceutical drug in the first place. I believe that you should be using them and changing your lifestyle habits, and changing your eating habits, changing out your workout regimen, changing your spiritual habits, how much you pray, how much you commune with God and meditate, fast, different things to improve your overall health, family. You need to be doing that, so then as time goes on and you're following up with your primary care physician or whoever you go to, you can start tapering off of that pharmaceutical drug so your body can learn how to become in homeostasis by itself. So you don't need that to stay in balance. Yes, some people say, oh, my blood pressure, my blood sugar, my stress levels, cortisol levels, my depression, my anxiety, all these things is under control, doc. All my numbers is normal. Well, they only normal because you're taking the pharmaceutical. As soon as you offer that, your numbers is going to spike very high in a hyper state or spike very low in a hypo state. So it's showing you that there's an imbalance somewhere inside of your body, whether if it's, like I said, your hormones, depression, anxiety, blood pressure, blood sugar, immune cell levels, anything, family. You want to figure out what that root cause is while you're on the pharmaceuticals, so that when you start doing the things to get your body healthier over time, you can take less and less and less and less, to the point to where it almost become a placebo for you, to where you think you may need it, but your body has actually regulated it into a state of harmony and balance so well, you don't need it anymore at all. And now your body can thrive in a natural way of being, like how we were all born to be. So to me, family, that's my standpoint on it. Everyone got their own viewpoint. I'm not saying somebody is right or wrong, but obviously we all do know we want to be as healthy as possible without the need of external factors. That's the whole point. You don't want to feel bound to a pharmaceutical drug or even any herbal products. Like, you want to know that your body is healthy and you're doing things for it to be better over time. But you don't want to feel like you need those things for your body to be in that balance, because as time goes on, the imbalance will fester and grow and become larger and larger and develop other issues to where you need other medications for the medication that you were on in the first place. And this just becomes a revolving door, and it just becomes a recycling effect, to the point to now you're on multiple different pharmaceutical medications, and now you're stuck in a loophole and you don't know what to do. You're simply just boot looping in a circle, not knowing what to do next. So what I would advise is, if you're on pharmaceutical drugs, listen to your primary care physician on what they do, because I can't tell you what to do. But if it was me and I was on a pharmaceutical drug, I would make sure, well, what's the root cause of this issue? If they're not going to tell me what it is, let me go find a naturopath. Let me go find a naturopathic doctor. Let me go find a local herbalist. Let me go do my own self-sufficient research to figure out what the issue could be, so I can dive deeper to get off of the poisons, off of the sorcery, off of the potions, off of these remedies that a company has made to profit off of my livelihood of me staying on it for the rest of my life. Let me figure out how to become balanced within my own vessel, my own being, and my own temple. So once you take those steps, family, and take that sovereign ability, I believe that you'll live the best life that you want to live, that you actually are here for. So that's my viewpoint on the family. Take a look into it. And, there's even biblical reasons on it. For this video, I don't know if we need to go into it. But, I advise that people could go into it. So let me just go into one just to break it down for you. So basically, if you look at Revelations, if you look at Revelations 18:23, in the NIV, it says, "The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of the bridegroom and the bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. By your magic spell, all of the nations were led astray." Let's look at that last sentence. By your magic spell, all of the nations were led astray. This is called deceiving. This is called putting a mask on. This is called divergence. These people are leading you astray of what we know we should be doing for ourselves. This is all a scapegoat to keep you away from what you know you need to do. Oh, I take my meds, doc, I'm good. My levels are straight. Yeah, like we said, the nations were led astray. We don't want to be led astray from anyone. We want to make sure that we're not being deceived and that we want to make sure that all of our levels could be in check without these things. What happened to the herbs? What happened to the fruit, the vegetables, the nuts, the grains, the seeds, the light meat for some people that decide to eat that? Why don't you focus on that? What happened to the exercise? What happened to the sunlight? What happened to the hydration? What happened to the praise? What happened to the worship? What happened to the fasting? What happened to that? You don't want to be led astray from thinking that you can just take something that's in these little red pills, orange capsules, and think that you're gonna be good. Maybe good for the short term, but we want to make sure for the long term we are increasing our genome so the epigenetic inheritance for our children's children will be of a stronger resiliency. So that's just my two cents on the family. Do what you want with the research. I would advise you to look it up for yourself, but that's what it is for me. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Peace.